Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes, and welcome to the show.
Here we are. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm still stuffed.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
I got the fat man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working on the Santa Claus look.
Yeah, well, we got the you got the beard.
So I'm getting
the beard.
I'm getting the belly.
You're
I'm
not
getting my
in-
winter weight out.
Yeah, you're not in training
I'm
for
not in training for anything
for a
except
marathon.
eating.
Yeah, for eating. Right. It's okay. This is
It's this time of year from
it's-
Thanksgiving past Christmas.
right.
What's training?
It's all good.
What's
We'll get
training?
back to January 1st, and there'll be time to work out again.
Exactly.
So
We'll
nothing-
get there.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not
So
at all.
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
All right, so I know as we get towards the end of the year, I know you wanted to talk about like current the current market, and as we look forward to 2025, what all that's going to look like and so forth.
Well, we're kind of looking backwards as far as what is going on in the housing market this year.
Mm-hmm.
When we started the year, interest rates were up. We
Yeah.
thought, oh man, things are
Right.
going to slow down, and they really have not. They've been spotty. I mean, overall numbers for Kosciuszko County, we've actually sold more this year than last year.
Really?
We have.
Wow.
It's not a lot.
Okay, but that's
more.
interesting,
It's an
yeah.
improvement year over year. But I think the bigger story is actually, and this goes Kosciuszko as well as national, is the deceleration in housing price appreciation. Say that 5 times.
Yeah.
fast.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So what we're talking about is, in 21, home prices went up almost 20%.
Yeah.
Right? In 22, they were up 15%.
Yeah.
In 23, they came back, or maybe it was 6 to 8%. So nationally, home price, the appreciation, so how quickly home prices rise,
Mhm.
has slowed to, oh my God, and is just below 4%, which is
But-
more normal.
But which is more normal.
Which is more normal.
But they're still going up.
There are still price appreciation.
Yeah.
It's just not as fast as what it was.
Yeah.
So we're going back to a more normal market. And when we started the year this year, we had no clue. With interest rates where they were, it's like somebody had shut the spigot off, January, February, which typically are slow months anyway.
Right.
They typically are. We've got that wave where they start picking up March, April, and it goes through about October, and then this
Right.
time of year things are slowing down.
Mhm. Well,
Thanksgiving.
I mean, who wants to move in cold weather and snow? And it's kind of hard to ask
Right.
your buddies to come over and help
Right.
you move.
Well, they're watching football.
Well, they're watching football.
Or they're doing
and,
something else.
and-
They're not
yeah, they're
planning to come help you.
they're in the
move.
warmth.
Yeah, they're in the warmth, and people are getting ready for the holidays,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they're doing a lot of things besides thinking about, hey, I'm going to move. Now, I'm not saying people don't actually move during this time, that
Well-
people aren't actually looking. People are putting their houses on the market, all of those things, but they've explored their why. They've determined that, hey, this is the right time for me to do whatever I'm doing. But home prices have not continued to skyrocket. Now, the tough part is we had such significant improvement in price, significant increases in price. Improvement if you're a seller,
Yeah, right.
increases if you're a
Yeah,
buyer,
right, yeah,
right?
yeah.
We've had such significant jumps in home values. It's harder and harder for buyers to buy because the prices are significantly higher.
Yeah.
So nationally, they've come out to just below 4%. Locally, Kosciuszko County through November is up about 5% this year.
Mm.
So we're ahead of the national average
Yeah.
in general. And I would say a lot of that is still lake homes. A lot of that is still lake property. I think we're going to settle into that 4 to 5%. And you hear me regularly say we're 4 to 6 or 3 to 6, something like that is just
Yeah.
where we are. That's where we're at. We're back to a more normal market as far as home price appreciation goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, the naysayers, buying a house, I got to wait till it's going to crash. You're getting taken advantage of. You got buyers that are sitting on the sidelines saying, hey, I'm not going to buy because I'm going to get hurt. I'm overpaying for the house today, but we're still seeing appreciation. And the longer you wait, you're missing out on that appreciation.
Yeah.
Bottom line. If
Well,
it goes
and
up
if-
5% a year, the next year it's 5% more.
Right. Now, maybe if you're living at home with mom and dad, you're
Yeah.
you're saving money. But if you're renting,
If you're renting,
then you're
going behind.
basically putting, throwing money out the window.
Right. Well, and it
So to
goes
speak.
just, back when savings rates were the same thing. When you had your money in your savings account, you're earning less than 1%.
Yeah.
Right? So put it in your mattress. Right? The
Right.
old folks.
Yeah,
like
right.
me. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to just tuck it away in our mattress. Well, inflation jumped up,
Mhm.
right? To where we were 7, 8, 9% inflation. If you were renting, your home prices or your rent prices went up that same amount. But if you were in a 30-year fixed loan, at least you had fixed your housing rate.
Mhm.
You had fixed your expenses
Right.
for housing. Because your mortgage payment's not going to change. Your taxes may go up, your insurance may go up, but your monthly payment for principal and interest is going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, bottom line, homeownership is still a good idea. At 5% a year, it's tough to make an even 5%. Most financial planners, they'll put you in at 7 is what they expect you're going to get on investments. 5% for something you got to spend on anyways isn't a bad deal.
Yeah.
If you can get 5% appreciation a year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I always heard if you want to build wealth, it's like buy a home.
Absolutely.
I mean, because real estate typically tends to.
it tends to appreciate.
To appreciate.
And the national trend and the local trend
Yeah.
are continuing that, going forward. Who knows what 2025 is going to bring? And after the break, we can talk about some ways, if you're thinking about selling, to get your house ready to sell.
All right, sounds good. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes, and kind of did a year-end wrap up, and we are, we're moving along. We have prices are increasing around 4%, so we're back to like more of a normal
More
market.
normal.
And I know you want to talk about if you're preparing to sell in 2025, what that's going to kind of look like.
Yeah, and I guess just a small snippet of history, right? During COVID, during the years after, and I wouldn't say continuing through 24 because it started to shift earlier this year, but people were buying crazy things. I mean, they were buying sight unseen. Didn't matter what the condition was, they were buying it. And it's hard for me, the guy that's been doing it a long time. You had to have your house ready to sell. You had to present in the best. If I look back at some of our older shows,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about, you need to make sure you've done X, Y, Z to have it ready to sell,
Right.
so that you get top dollar and it sells more quickly and all those things. We're back to that. So sellers, you need to have your house in good condition and priced right if you're going to sell.
Sure.
And gone are the days of, hey, I just throw it against the wall and see if it sticks, and
Yeah.
somebody jumps on it and pays me more than what it probably is really worth.
Yeah.
They're not going to waive inspections. There's all of these things. They're
Right.
asking for concessions again.
Yeah.
They're coming back. All of those things. And nationally, homes are sitting on the market. About half the homes are sitting on the market for more than a month.
Mm.
So, back in the day, and the day is not too long ago, right?
Yeah, no,
a
right.
couple of years ago,
Right.
You listed it, you had 8 showings and 4 offers in the first, day.
Right.
And the expectation is there. Just like people, well, I'm waiting for 3% interest rates, right? Because we had 3% interest rates for so long.
Yeah, you're going to wait a long time.
Absolutely. The paradigm needs to shift. You need to get with today.
Mhm.
So sellers, today, you probably are not going to sell in the first week. You're probably not. Now, you may get showings, you may not. But you will sell, but it's taking longer for them to sell.
Okay.
On average, about half the homes are sitting on the market at least a month.
Okay.
Now, back in the dark days, really, really back in the days, we had back in the crash of 7, 8, 9, 2007, 2008, 2009, we had homes that were on the market for 6 months, sometimes a year before they would sell. And then we went through the COVID, the extreme opposite, one day and they're gone.
Yeah.
So we're going back to that more normal. So what does that tell us as sellers? Hey, we ought to have our house ready, prepared, because we've got competition now.
Yeah.
We're not the only game in town.
Inventory is up.
Inventory is up. And the numbers of homes that are available have increased. We need to have our home in good condition in order to do that. So some tips and things that you really should do. Paint. Paint is the least expensive improvement you can make to your home. Well, Mark, that really isn't an improvement, but it can make a world of difference.
It certainly does.
It can make a world of difference. I'm not going to say you can overcome smoke smell, because there are people that still smoke in their houses. A lot of folks don't,
Yeah.
but a lot of people still do. It's
Right.
tough to get rid of that odor. So
Right.
I'm not saying paint gets rid of that odor. So let's
No.
eliminate the smokers. Let's eliminate the pets, all those odors, which are things that you should try to do
Right.
if you're selling. But paint isn't your answer for that. But a coat of fresh paint makes the house present so much nicer.
Mhm.
So much nicer. And again, these are things that if you're thinking of selling, they're not going to cost you a lot of money to do if you're doing it yourself. You can do one room at a time. If you're thinking, hey, next June I'm going to put my house on the market, you know what? Start a room a month, and all of a sudden you've got 6 rooms done before you get your house ready to go on the market.
Right.
Maybe it's July. You do them all and you're done. Or we're going to do all the bedrooms. We're going to do the living room. Things like that. You improve the ability to sell. Just because fresh paint, it looks like it.
Yeah.
It does. If it's all dirty and dingy and whatever, it's harder to sell.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. If you're thinking about spending maybe a little bit money, improve the bathrooms. Bathrooms and kitchens
Mhm.
are what sells. Obviously, square footage, location, all of those things. But if you're going to put money into stuff, if you're going to spend any money, spend it on improving that bathroom.
Mhm.
I'm not saying knocking walls down, this, that, or the other thing. But if you've got a bathtub, you've seen the one-day commercial where they
Right.
come in and they can completely retrofit your tub shower, very quickly. I have no idea what the cost of that is, but that's a good improvement.
Yeah.
Because when you open that door to look at the bathroom, it looks a lot better,
Mhm.
a lot nicer if you've got, that done.
Right.
So kitchens, bathrooms, it doesn't take a lot of money to improve the landscaping. Now, it's tough when we got, snow
Cold,
coming.
right, sure,
Right? We
but-
got snow coming. But, in the spring, if you're thinking of listing in June, work on your landscaping. Some fresh mulch, fresh rock, whatever that is, trim your shrubs, all of those things.
Yeah,
Get to
nothing
it.
looks worse than like just an overgrown bush in front of the house that's just like blocking windows.
Absolutely, absolutely. Some carpet or flooring, maybe replacing or buying some new appliances, things like that. If you got the old yellow 1978, refrigerator, and they still run.
Yeah, right.
They
yeah.
still run.
Yeah,
they
do.
run better than the new stainless.
Yes, they do. 100%. Yes.
But if you're going to sell your house, it's something a buyer's thinking about.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of other tips and improvements that you can make to your house without spending a lot of money. And,
That's true.
Happy to talk with people about that if they want to give us a shout. But if you're thinking about selling next summer, work this winter on getting it ready because it's time.
Mhm.
That is where the market is today.
It's a process again.
It is back to you need to be the nice shiny penny and it will
yeah,
sell.
and it will sell.
And it will sell
Yeah.
because there's competition today. Where
Yeah.
there was a time when it irked me to say it, but it was like, hey, just put it out there, see what happens.
Right. Yeah. There was that time.
There
but
was that time. It is no longer that
that's
time.
behind us now. Hey, Mark, your contact info?
Sure. Website, skabowskiteam.com. Phone numbers, 574-527-0660. Can email me, mark@skabowskiteam.com.
All right. Once again, a lot of great information. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend and happy Thanksgiving.